Hello boys and girls, welcome to Summer Reading Arts and Crafts. Today we're going to be making a Medusa hat. Now Medusa was one of the three Gorgon sisters in Greek mythology, and they were all monsters, but Medusa was the ugliest and scariest of all. She had snakes for hair, and if someone looked her straight in the eye, they would turn to stone. So if you want to find out more about Greek mythology, I'm going to show you some books you can check out from the library, and then I'll show you how to make a little Medusa hat, just like the one I have here. One of the books you can check out is the Simon & Schuster Book of Greek Gods and Heroes by Alice Lowe and illustrated by Arvis Stewart. And this has really beautiful pictures in it. Maybe I can show you a couple of them real quick. And of course you can learn about all kinds of Greek gods and goddesses, and you can find out some of the wonderful tales that were told in ancient Greece. So that's one of them. Here's one called The Gods and Goddesses of Greek Mythology by Don Nardo. And here's Roman Myths and Legends retold by Anthony Masters. Greek and Roman Mythology, again by Don Nardo. Here's Greek Myths by Deborah Locke. This one's a little bit easier reading. And now, not all mythology came from Rome or Greece. Sometimes we have mythology from other countries as well. The Norse countries, which would have been Scandinavia, Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Finland, Iceland, all of those countries are considered the Norse countries, and it says Gods and Goddesses of the Ancient Norse, and this was written by Leonard Everett Fisher, or they're retold by him. So come to the library and get some books on mythology because they're a lot of fun to read, and you can wear a Medusa hat while you're reading if you want to. Let me show you how I made my Medusa hat. I used a piece of brown paper, but you can use a different color if you want. And if it's just your regular 8.5 by 11 paper, you'll want to just fold it in half like that. And then fold it in half again, so that now I've got 4 equal pieces, and I'm going to cut right along those fold lines. So now I've got one strip, and when I cut the next one, it should be the same width so that I can tape them together and make a band that'll go all the way around my head. So there we go. I'm going to use my tape. Let me take off my Medusa hat so I can fit this other one around my head. So I'm going to tape it on both sides. I'm going to flip it over and put another little piece of tape to get it to stay together, and that's not going to be long enough to reach all the way around, so I need to use at least one more strip. You might be able to use just 2 depending on the size of your head, and I actually probably could have stretched it out a little bit and made it go further, but I overlapped it too much, but that's okay because now I'll just use another one of my strips, and that'll make it long enough to reach. Oops. Now, that definitely is going to be long enough, so I'm just going to reach it around, and then right about where they meet, I can feel where they're meeting, like that, and I'll just cut off the excess and put a piece of tape there to hold it. And you can get mom or dad to help you if you need to. Put one more piece of tape inside to secure it. There we go. So now I've got my band, and I need to cut out some snakes. So the snakes are probably 1 inch in width, and they're the length of the paper. So I'll just start here and kind of cut a little bit wavy like a snake. and then round it off at the top to make it look like the head of a snake. And I'm gonna go back down, cutting kind of back and forth in a weave. So there I've got a snake. And I'm gonna make several of these. 5 or 6 would make a good hat. So once I've already got one piece going back and forth, I'll just cut right along that same kind of curve. And there's another snake. And I'm going to keep doing that till I have several snakes to go onto my hat. This should be wide enough to make at least 5 or maybe 6. So now I've cut all of my snakes, and I'm going to put a little red tongue on the end of each snake. So, and if you have scraps of paper, you can use them. I'm just going to cut a little piece off of my red paper, and now I'm going to cut some little tongues, just little tiny triangles. And I'm just going to need one for each of my snakes. I think I have 5 snakes, so I'll need 5 little red triangular tongues. Those are going to be the tongues. And I'm just going to need a little strip of tape for each one. And I will put the tongue, whoops, right on the snake's, the end of the snake there. And I'm also going to put an eye. So there's one snake's eye and tongue, and I'm going to cut off the extra bit of tape that stuck out on the sides of the tongue. So there's one. And here's another snake who needs his tongue. So I'm just going to do the taping on the back side and cut off that extra bit of tape, overlapping tape. And I'm going to put his eye on there. And I'm going to do that on each one. Let me go ahead and put their eyes. And then tape their tongues. Then you tape them around on the hat. And you can put the eye on both sides. That way you'll see his eyes no matter which direction the hat is. And the tongue should stick off of the end, so you'll see it from either side. So let's get the last of the tongues on. There's one. And the last 2. And Greek mythology is a lot of fun. Once you have learned some of the Greek mythology, you might enjoy reading the Rick Riordan Lightning Thief series. That is based on Greek mythology as well. And those are really fun stories. You get where you can hardly put them down. And then of course, they did turn The Lightning Thief into a movie, and you could watch that. All right, here's my last snake, and I'm going to tape the snakes inside of the hat all the way around. I'll just put the snakes several inches apart. There's one. And now another snake a few inches further around, so that the whole hat looks like snakes coming off my head as hair when I'm wearing it. And then number 3. Here's snake number 4. And the last one, snake number 5, to make my hat really a great Medusa hat. Whoops, uh-oh. There we go. That's a fun hat to wear. And you can wear it while you're reading some Greek mythology from the library. I hope I see you at the library soon. Thanks for joining me today. Bye-bye.